Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to the summary lectures of Introduction to Management. Today we will cover week number 11, lecture number 21 and 22. Students, in this lecture we will discuss decision making styles. There are two types of decision making. Number one, linear decision making, and number two, non-linear decision making. There are two styles which are different from each other on the basis of the manager and the personality of the manager. Linear thinking or linear decision making means the person who takes decisions, he considers external facts and figures, he takes logical decisions, he considers facts and figures, and he tries to make a rational decision. This is called linear decisions. On the other hand, if the manager takes decisions on the basis of his feelings, emotions, or on the other hand, if he takes decision on the basis of intuition, this is called non-linear decision making. So linear decision making means taking decisions which is logical, which is where facts and figures are considered, and which is a rational decision. On the other hand, if a person takes decisions on the basis of his personal feelings, his intuition or his emotions, this is called non-linear decision making. Let's move to the other topic. The next topic, where we have some biases of decision making and biases and errors. First of all, the overconfidence, immediate gratification, anchoring effect, selective perception, confirmation, framing, availability, representation, randomness, sunk cost, self-serving, and hindsight. So these are all the factors which basically are called errors and biases of the decision making. So here our decision making topic is over, and now we will start our next topic, which is called organizing. As students, we have studied that there are four functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So in planning, we have studied goals, we have studied plans, and we also discussed decision making. So now the function planning is over. Now we will move to the next function, which is called organizing. So students, in organizing, as we have already studied in first chapter, that organizing means arranging the tasks and deciding which task is to be performed by which individual. So first of all, we will try to discuss the purpose of organizing. So what is the purpose of organizing? First of all, the purpose is to divide the work to be done in specific jobs and departments. Students, we have different departments in organizations, and we divide similar activities in each department. For example, there is an activity which is called salary management. There is an activity where we have to deal with the bank, we have to purchase or we have to keep records of expenses. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can add some other activities also. So we have 3, 4, 5 different activities. So we have to add all these activities since these all activities are similar. So we add all these activities in one group or in one department, which will be called finance department. Same is true with computer science. There is an activity to manage hardware of the systems of the organization. There is an activity where we manage the softwares. There is an activity where we manage the networks of the organization. So these are similar activities, and we combine all these similar activities and make one department, and which is called IT department or networking department. So we divide the work to be done into specific jobs and departments. So what do? We make departments with the similar activities, assign tasks and responsibilities associated with individual jobs. Then we give duties, or we assign these tasks to individuals who have to perform the duties. Number 3, coordinate diverse organization tasks. So when we work in organization, we have to face diverse problems, and there are different organizational tasks, and we have to coordinate all these tasks with the individuals who have to do the work. Cluster jobs into units. Clustering jobs into units mean making departments as we have made these departments, finance department and IT department. Establishes relationship among the individuals, group and department. So this organizing also helps us to establish relationship between or among the different departments, different groups and individuals. Second last, establish formal line of authority. Who is senior, who is junior, who reports to whom. These are all the activities which have to be managed in organizing. Last, allocates and deploys organization resources. So organization has some resources. All the resources of the organization will be managed and will be allocated in organizing. I think this is clear. And in organizing chapter, we have to study 6 different activities. Number 1, work specialization. Number 2, departmentalization. Number 3, chain of command. Number 4, span of control. Number 5, centralization, decentralization, and at the end, formalization. So these are the activities we have to. These are 6 points and 6 different topics we have to study in the organizing. So first of all, we will study work specialization. Work specialization means right person on the right job. Work specialization means division of labor, and this is the topic we studied in the second chapter in second chapter when we were studying history of management, and we were studying Adam Smith and economics. So in this we have studied that we have to divide the work, labor, we have to divide the work into small units, into small tasks, and we have to give each task to a specialized person. Every person who is doing the job is a specialized person, and we had studied the example of furniture. Here you can see that there is product A, this is product B, this is product C. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So there is a group of 4 people. Work specialization means this person is specialized of doing one activity, This is the specialized of doing the other, and this is the third, and this is the fourth activity. So these are the four specialized people who are specialists of their work. In product A or in project number of A, this individual is doing requirement, is basically requirement engineer. He is doing the same work here, he is doing the same work here. After completion, after the work of first person is completed, then the architecture has to do the task, architecture has to do the same task again and again. Then there is a developer who develops after the architect has made his has done his job, and at the end there is a person who checks the quality, or quality assurance person. So these are four different individuals, and four are specialized or specialists of their activities or their jobs. So we have divided one project into 4 units. This is called division of labor, and this is called right person of the right job, and this is called work specialization. Number 2, departmentalization. Students, in every organization there are different departments, and we have different types of departmentalizations, but here we will discuss only 5 types of departmentalization. And the first department type is functional department. Students, in functional department you can see that at the top there is a plant manager, and under this plant manager there are different functions. Different functions means different departments, as we have seen, and we have already studied that when there is a word function comes, it means organization units, it means organizational areas, and it also means organizational departments. So there is engineering department, there is accounting department, manufacturing department, human resource department, purchasing department. We can add other departments like IT departments, like management departments, like selling department, वगैरह. So we can add different departments. So these are the organizations which have departments, but the types of department is functional department. Okay, and there are some pros and cons and advantages and disadvantages of each department. Let's discuss the advantages first. It provides logical reflection of function that maintains power and prestige of major functions. So it is basically a logical division of the functions which maintains power, because power of engineering goes to one department, power of accounting goes to the other department. So it is a logical reflection of functions, and that maintains power. Number 2, follows principle of occupational specialization. So every person who is working in a department is a specialized person. So everyone is work specialist. So this means everyone is professionally special person and specialist who is doing the duty. Number 3, simplifies training and supervise of the subordinates. So here the subordinates or newcomers have the opportunities to get training from the supervisors. Number 3, furnishes means of tight control at the top. So here we have a tight control because every department is concerning with his or with its duties. Number 4, each department can be staffed by experts of the functional area. So as we have studied in the second point, that everyone is the specialist of his tasks and his area. So work specialization is also done here. At the end, coordination of activities within the department is easy. So within department, when we have to coordinate, coordination is very simple. But when we see some advantages of any activity, we can also see, or anything, we can also see the disadvantages. So first disadvantage is decision making becomes slower and more bureaucratic. It takes too long to come up to a decision. De-emphasize of overall company objectives. here when we talk about the department, so every department tries to improve, every department member tries to improve his department or tries to give importance to his department, and they do not follow the overall company objectives. Accountability and performing becomes increasingly difficult to monitor. This is very difficult to monitor the performance of the other department, since there is a tight control of the department itself. Number 4, over specializes and narrows viewpoint of key personnel. So when we have specialized people, so they are over specialized and they cannot do other duties. Reduces coordination between functions and or departments. So within department coordination is simple, but among or within or interdepartmental coordination is very difficult, and it is reduced coordination. And last, slow adaptation to change to the environment. These organizations do not accept change, and they resist to change, and they do not adapt to the environmental changes. Limit develop of general managers. Basically, development of general managers, they do not improve much because of the status quo and because of the rules regulation which are already implemented. Second departmentalization type is geographical departments. Students, geographical departments means when there is an organization or when there is head office, product is made at one place, for example in Karachi, and after making the product in Karachi, we have to send these to Islamabad, we have to send these to Lahore, and we have to send these to Quetta, Peshawar and Multan, वगैरह वगैरह. So these are called geographical departments, where we have departments or we have the branches of the organization everywhere, but the product is made in the head office, at the head office. Okay, products are not made in the other geographical areas which we have already mentioned. For example, here is the boss, vice president of sales, sales director, western region, we can call this Islamabad, southern region we can call this Lahore, midwestern region we can call this Quetta, and we can call this Peshawar, for example. So these are the 4 different regions. Okay, we have studied that we have only produce products at one place, and we send these products to different geographical regions. Number 1. Number 2, there are some other organizations where in geographical departments, these geographies or these departments in different geographical areas, they also produce the things. Okay, they also produce the things, and there will be some different situation in this regard. So here we will see the advantages of geographical specialization, departmentalization. Place responsibility at lower places, emphasize on local market problems. So they will try to understand the local market problem, and responsibility will be at the local situation, local individuals, not those who are living in the head office. Number 2, improves coordination in the region, takes advantage of the economic and local operations. So they take advantage of the local operations and they produce things as per the local requirements. For example, there is a company called Searle UK. It also, this is a pharmaceutical company. It is also functioning in Pakistan, and we see different medicines. We use different medicines of this company, Searle Pakistan. So Searle Pakistan is the geographical boundary, is the geographical department of Searle UK. So rules of UK are not applied here at Searle Pakistan, because the situation of Pakistan is different. requirement of Pakistan is different. The type of diseases in Pakistan is totally different from UK. So they make product as to satisfy or to fulfill the need of the local users or local patients. Okay. Number 3, face-to-face communication with local interest. We have studied this. French furnishes measurable training ground for general managers. So we can also give different types of trainings too. Disadvantages. Number 1, required more persons with general manager abilities. So wherever we have different organizations, like we have 4 different branches, so we need to give training to general managers. Number 2, tend to make maintenance of economical central services difficult and may require service such as personnel or purchasing at the regional level. So this is very difficult to control everything from the head office, as we have already studied. Number 3, increase the problem of top management control, as we have studied that since top management cannot understand the problems, so they cannot give solution to the problems, and they cannot control the regional organizations or regional head offices sitting in the head office. And number 5, in the image of organization chart for international restaurant franchise organization, so we can see international organization, international franchise organization, we have the example here, but I have also given you the example for pharmaceutical company. So students, number 3, we have product departmentalization. Students, there are some organizations where they do not deal in one product, they deal in multiple products. For example, in case of Honda, as I have told you, they deal in motorcycles and they also deal in cars. So they have 2 different products. So they have 2 different products and they deal with customers, and they deal differently, and they produce their products differently, and they manage their products differently. So means they have 2 products, product A and product B. So there may be product C also, there may be product D also, as according to the nature of the organization. So here we have the example, the Bombardier company, Bombardier Limited, they make 3 products, product A, product B and product C. Product A means mass transit means buses, coasters, recreational utility vehicles like loaders, like cars, and rail means trains. So these are 3 different type of products they make, product A, product B and product C. So in this case they have mass transit division, Bombardier Rotex Vienna, and rail and diesel product division. In all the divisions they have different recreational products division, they have logical equipment division, they have industrial equipment, and they have Bombardier Rotex conscription. So this is basically the flow diagram of the hierarchy and diagram of the organization with more than one product. So advantage is flexibility. The organization is flexible. 3 different organizations, 3 different products, and 3 different ways of producing. Number 2, allows specialization in each particular service. So in each product service, so they have specialization, work specialization of each activity. Manager becomes experts in their departments, closer to customer, they are very close to customer. Number 2, there are some disadvantages. For example, compete unintentionally, product A, product B, product C. These products are of the same company, but they compete with each other. Duplication of functions. All the functions are duplicating because different engineering works have to be done by A and B and C also. So we see duplication of the activities. Number 3, limited view of organizational view. So they do not look at the organizational view, they just consider their own department or their own divisions. Number 4, process department. Process department means there are some activities which involve some steps. For example, making furniture, we have multiple steps, and we give specialized duties to each person to finish each task. Task number 1, task 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take the example here. we can see the department, the process flow of making furnitures. Here we see number one, sewing department. Sewing department means they cut the trees. Number two, planning and milling department, when the trees are there in the mills and they make plans and make small wood pieces. Number three, assembling department, this department who assembles the pieces of the wood to make a chair or to make a furniture. Number four, lacquering, they polish. Number five, finishing department, which finishes the product and to pack the product. And at the end, number six, we have inspection and shipping department. There's a department which inspects or which sees the quality of the product and then it ships to the market or to the customers. So advantages of this department is to achieve economic advantage, uses specialized technology, uses special skills and simplifies training. This is the example that we have already studied in the class many times. Number two, disadvantages means coordination of department is difficult. Coordination between one department to the other department is very difficult. Responsibility for profit is at the top. Responsibility for the profit is only at the top. Boss is responsible for the profit. Lower departments are not responsible. And at the end, it is unsuitable for developing general manager. We do not see any general manager developing from here because everyone is specialized person and he or she has to do his or her duty. And at the end, we have customer department. We have three different types of customers. Number one, retailer, or we can see consumer. Number two, we have business, or number three, we have government. So we have three different types of customers, and we have to deal with all the customers with differently. So here we can see the director of sale, manager retail accounts, manager wholesale account, wholesale mean business account, and manager government account. So students, since we have the three different types of customers, so we have three different departments or three different managers to deal with these customers. First of all, we will see advantages. Encourages concentration to customers' needs. So every one is specialized to different customer type, so they are specialized and they give more attention to the customers. Number two, give customer feeling that they have understanding supplier. So it means they gives a feeling that they have an understanding supplier. It means that we give, or these in this departmentalization, organizations try to give an impact of their organization in the minds of the customers, that they can understand the needs of the customers, and the customers should think that they are facing the right suppliers. Number three, develop expertness in the customer area. So they are experts in different customer areas like customer, consumer, bank, business and government. And number four, saves customers time. It saves customer time. Number two, we will see the disadvantages. Number one, may be difficult to coordinate operation between completing customer demand. So this may be very much difficult to coordinate different operations. Number two, require managers and staff experts in the customer's problems. So here in this regard, a person should be expert in customers' needs. A person should be expert in the business needs, and a person should be expert in dealing with the government accounts or government customers. Customers group may not always be clearly defined. Sometimes we cannot see that whether it is customer or whether it is business or whether it is consumer or whether it is government. So we cannot define the customers for sometimes, and it becomes very difficult. For example, large corporate firm versus other corporate businesses. So this is basically, these are the disadvantages. So it was all from the summary lecture of week number 11. So inshallah we will see you again with lecture number 12.